What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin here, and in this video, we're going to be checking out Moto E 2020 tips and tricks. So let's get started. So these are my favorite hidden features and tips and tricks for the Moto E 2020. So let's get started. The first thing that I want to show you is how to get a battery percentage up in the upper right corner of the phone. So by default, we just have the icon, which is nice, but it's always great to have the actual percentage there at all times. So to do this, you're going to pull down the shade, you're going to go to the gear for the settings, we're going to go to search, type in battery, and then you'll see some different options. So there's battery percentage, tap on that, and then turn that on. And then now, no matter where you go throughout the operating system on the device, we will now have the percentage up in the corner. So very cool there. Now also in this battery interface here, we have other options as well. So we can turn on battery saver. So when you turn that on, it will make the device much more battery efficient. However, it is going to restrict some background activity and visual effects. So I wouldn't keep this on all the time, but that's something that you can turn on if you are looking to conserve your battery life. We also have another option here for adaptive battery. This is turned on by default, but it will limit the battery usage for apps that you don't use very often. And then finally, at the bottom of this page here, you can see that we do have some interesting stats, like the last time since a full charge and the screen usage since the full charge. So definitely take some time to go through here, learn more about it, and hopefully this will result in you having a better experience. Now moving on to the next tip, and this is how to take a screenshot with the device. Now I'm going to show you two different methods on how to do it. The first method is pretty standard. You're going to hold down the volume down and the power button at the same time for a second. And you can see the screenshot has now been taken. We can then go in and edit it, we can crop it, we can use the pen tool to highlight different things, and then when you're done, you can either discard it if you want to redo it, or you can also share directly from here. Now there's also another cool method to take a screenshot, and this is called 3-finger screenshot. So pull down the shade, go to the settings, type in 3, and you'll see right here 3-finger screenshot. So go to try it out. And then you do have to take 3 of your fingers and place them on here. There we go. And now I'm going to turn that on. And now no matter where I am within the interface here on the phone, you just take 3 fingers, put them on the display, and you will quickly take a screenshot. And then you get the same editing and sharing options that we had before. Now another cool tip that I think a lot of people might not be aware of is that you can actually double tap on the power button to activate the camera. So let's do that right now. And you can see that was very easy. You can do that from anywhere within the operating system. But all you have to do, if you want to quickly take a photo, just double tap on that power button and it will pull up the camera app here. So that's very awesome and definitely super convenient. And that is enabled here by default with the device. Now the next thing I want to show you is how to use the fingerprint sensor to lower the notification shade. That's a pretty awesome feature to have because this device is very large in size, and for many people, including myself, it can be difficult to reach up top here to pull down the notification shade if you are just using the device in one hand. So we're going to pull down the shade, we're going to go to the settings, go to search, and then we're going to type in swipe, search, and then there we go, swipe fingerprint. So you can see here, swipe fingerprint for notifications. To check your notifications, swipe down on the fingerprint sensor on the back of your phone, okay? We're gonna turn that on. And then now, when I swipe down on the fingerprint sensor, which is very conveniently placed, by the way, I do lower the notification shade here. Now you can swipe down a second time to lower it even more, which is cool. And then raise it all the way, you swipe up. There we go. Now moving on to the next tip, and this one is called Fast Flashlight. It's a really cool way to turn on the flash on your device to basically give you a flashlight effect, which I'm sure you already do. So go to the settings, type in Fast Flashlight, and you'll see it right here. So this is actually turned on by default, by the way, but I just wanted to pull this up here so that you are familiar with it. But essentially, you can turn on the flashlight or turn it off with 2 chopping motions. So we're going to try that out right now. There we go, very easy. And then we'll turn it off. Very cool. So that's super convenient. Definitely a big fan of that. And that does make it easy to do that. Now this next feature that I want to show you is a quick, awesome way to put the phone in Do Not Disturb mode. Now if you typically like to have your device with the sound on so that you can hear your phone calls and text messages, but then sometimes you have situations where you do want to put the phone on silent, then this method is going to be really awesome for you. So pull down the shade, go to the settings, type in DND, go to search, and you'll see here flipped for DND. And DND is an acronym for Do Not Disturb. So turn on that feature, and then from here, just lay the phone face down, and you'll notice that the phone will vibrate, and that means that flipped Do Not Disturb is now activated. So if you're at a meeting, for example, and you want to put your phone on silent, all you have to do is that, and then when you pick up the device, it will take it out of that mode, and now you will be able to hear your ringtone. Now, I'm a big fan of the default keyboard that comes with the Moto E 2020, but you can see here that the number line is actually mixed in with the top line of letters. Now, I prefer to have dedicated keys for the numbers, and of course, you can always go to the side here to access those numbers, but there is a way on this panel to get individual keys for the numbers themselves. So once you have the keyboard pulled up, tap on the gear, you're going to go to Preferences, and then from here, you're going to see Number Row. So turn that on, now go back, and you'll see that we now have a dedicated number row here with the device. So that's great, makes things a lot easier, and I feel like pretty much everybody would probably want to have this enabled. Another cool thing I want to show you too while we're here in the keyboard settings is that you can go over to Theme, and you can actually pick different colors and themes. You can see there's some images, background images, gradients, all kinds of different ways to customize the keyboard. Let's go over to this blue color here. Let's apply that. We're going to go back now. And you can see the keyboard is now blue in color. Now you're probably already familiar with this next tip, but it is something that many people often do overlook, and that is adjusting the screen time out. So to get to this, pull down the shade, go to the settings, go to display, go to advanced, and then you're going to see here screen time out. Now by default, it's set to 30 seconds. And in my opinion, I feel like that's a little too fast. I feel like 2 minutes for the typical smartphone user is probably a good balance. You can also make it time out even faster by switching it over to 15 seconds. But I have it for now set to 30 minutes since I've been making a lot of content about this phone. But again, kind of try different screen timeout times and see which one works best for you to give you the best experience when using the phone. And finally, for the last tip, I want to show you some various home settings. So to get to this, you actually have to long press on the background here. And then you can see here we have home settings right there. So there's some different settings here that you might want to take a look at and consider. The first one is the notification dots. So when you do get notifications, you'll get these like little dots that are over the various icons. And I don't feel like those really help me a whole lot. So I'm actually going to turn that feature off. You're going to have to go down to advanced here. And then there's allow notification dots. So turn that off. We're going to go back. And then you can see we have some other options as well. So whenever you install a new app, by default, it will get added to the home screen. Now that's something that I'm not really too into either, so I'm going to turn that off as well. But this other feature is pretty cool. This will allow you to rotate the home screen itself. So by default, when you rotate the device, the home screen does not rotate. And it doesn't matter whether or not you have auto rotate on or off, it's still not going to rotate. If you are, for example, on a road trip and you prefer to have your map mounted horizontally in landscape format, but you also want the rest of the operating system to match that, then just go to the home settings and then turn on allow home screen rotation. And now the home screen will rotate so you can use the phone in this landscape format and still be able to access everything with no issues at all. So if that's something that you're into, then there you go. You can do it here with the Moto E 2020. But I hope you enjoyed these tips and tricks about the Moto E 2020. Hopefully everything that I've gone over will help you have a better and more fulfilling experience when using this phone so that you can get the most out of it. But my name is Kevin. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one.